The date is March the 7th, 2023. We will call to order the meeting for the City of Statesboro Mayor and Council. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance this morning by Mayor Pro Tem Sherry Walsh.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. For our invocation this morning, I want to share a brief reading with you and then offer up a prayer, after which Mr. Reeves will lead us in the pledge. Where we live here, we have a great blessing that's not available everywhere in the world, in urban areas. We have such access to nature, and there's so much wisdom available to us through the natural world. And this is a poet, Mary Oliver, who knows and celebrates that. And I want to share her poem, When I Am Among the Trees. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locusts, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. May it be so. Allow me to speak a word of prayer, please. God our Father, precious parent, creator of all, we come with thanks for the many capacities we have to appreciate this world and to learn from it. We're grateful for eyes to see, ears to hear, tongues to speak, for the wit to learn and learn and learn. May we be patient with ourselves and one another. May we continue to open to receive the lessons available to us. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move down to agenda item 3, which is recognitions and public presentations. Our first presentation of a proclamation recognizing the week of March the 12th through the 18th, 2023 as AmeriCorps Week. We do have a proclamation and we would like to read it, and then we'll come forward from that point. And the proclamation reads as follows. A proclamation by the Mayor and City Council of Statesboro, Georgia, 2023 AmeriCorps Week. Whereas service is a hallmark of the American character and has the unique ability to bring people of all backgrounds together on common cause. And throughout our history, citizens have stepped up to meet our most pressing challenges of the day by volunteering in their communities. And whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps senior programs provide opportunities for more than 200,000 Americans to serve their country through service at nonprofits, schools, public agencies, and community and faith-based groups across the country. And whereas in Statesboro, AmeriCorps seniors, volunteers of diverse ages and backgrounds help to meet local needs in the city of Statesboro by serving as senior companions to older adults who need extra assistance and to remain independent in their own homes. And whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Seniors programs bring people together across race, age, and zip code to address critical issues facing the country, forge relationships, and cultivate mutual respect, and help build resilient and thriving communities. And whereas through their service, AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps seniors volunteers strengthen the lives of their families, communities, and the city of Statesboro as a whole. And whereas AmeriCorps Week is an opportunity to recognize the dedication and commitment of more than 1.2 million Americans who have chosen to serve their country through AmeriCorps, and millions more who have served in AmeriCorps seniors and their community partners, and to encourage more Americans to follow their footsteps in service. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Jonathan McCollum, Mayor of the City of Statesboro, do hereby proclaim March 12th to the 18th, 2023 as AmeriCorps Week in the City of Statesboro, and I urge all citizens to thank AmeriCorps members and alumni and AmeriCorps seniors volunteers for their service and to find their own way to give back to their communities. This day, 7th day of March in the year 2023. Let's give them a round of applause. Elena, we're going to do a photo.
We can.
Okay. We do what Lane say.
Your boss.
You doing good?
Yeah, she's ours now.
Former intern, so yeah, Lord. Here you go.
Can we have you on that side?
Yeah. Yeah, Shane, come on in. Good. Here we go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. And tilt the,
It's a little light.
ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's get it.
Closer here. Okay. All right. Congratulations.
Sure, appreciate it.
Yeah, so you doing good? All right, good. Yeah, you gotta catch up with you. We'll move now to agenda item 3B, which is a presentation to the Finance Department for receiving the Government Finance Office Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the 2021 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. I can't say enough about our team, Cindy. I think you know I like you. She keeps the money straight, her and her team, and so we want to definitely give them a round of applause. And we're going to get an opportunity for a photo op. And Mr. Penny, do you want to join us? Okay. And then we're going to have the whole council get together. Here you go, Chief. You gonna hold it? It's heavy.
I got it. I think I'm trying.
Sort of off balance. Yeah, step out of the side. Okay. You go to the other side of the man. You step up.
Cindy only got to take
My head too big?
Actually, Cindy, come on that side and then leave step.
Thank you.
Ready? Can you tilt the word down just a bit? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Don't move.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
All right, I'm getting close. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Will we count the council members?
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, all right. There you go. That's a great spot. It's not a-
That was pretty good. Turned off on me 1 second.
Mash the button.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. You took the award back down a little bit.
Just showing up.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
How are you?
Oh my God.
You doing good? I'm doing good.
We'll move down to agenda item 3C, presentation by Richard Deal with Lanier Deal and Partner on how the city financially ended fiscal year 2022. Now, Mr. Deal, we just got an award.
I know.
Let's not mess this up. It's good to see you.
As you say, the finance department does a great job here for the city. That award was for the 2021. I have no doubt they will receive the award for 2022 also. So they'll be back up here next year receiving that. I, again, want to thank the council for the opportunity to serve as the city auditors. And again, really thank the finance department for providing the information for the annual audit. And we went over in detail at the work session, the finances, so I'm not going to go back in all that detail. We'll be glad to, answer any questions that you might have today or at any time with any of the council members. But again, the city is strong financially. Just to mention a couple things, on a government-wide basis, the total assets for the city at the fiscal year ended June 30, 2022, your total assets were almost 185 million. Liabilities were 43 million. And your net position was almost 135 million. A lot of that is, of course, tied up in capital assets. But your unrestricted net position was about almost 18 million. And the governmental activities and the business type activities of the cities all had increases. You increased your net position by 13.7 million, or about 11% increase. So that's a good return on taxpayers' money. The general fund, which is the primary operating fund of the city, had an ending fund balance of 7.9 million. And you having your general fund balance approximately 40% of your annual expenditures and transfers out. So again, very strong financially. But that's all I'm going to really mention today, unless you all had any other questions. Again, great job.
I'll turn it over to council to see if they have any questions or comments. If not, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 4. Leah, do we have anyone signed up for public comments?
No, Mayor.
Okay, we'll move down to agenda item 5, which is consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda, and that's the approval of our minutes for February 21st work session, council minutes, and executive session, as well as agenda 5B, which is consideration of a motion to approve the City of Statesboro fiscal year 2022 audit. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll move down to agenda item 6, which is consideration of a motion to cancel the July 4, 2023 regularly scheduled council meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 7, which is consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2023-12, a resolution requesting approval to apply for the FY23 Community Development Block Grant for the City of Statesboro. Mr. Penny, you'll give us a little bit of insight on that, please?
Mayor, members of the council, annually we apply for community development block grants. So far we have not been successful, but this year we think we probably have a better shot at it, because instead of just a blanket housing rehabilitation project, what we're doing this year, Mayor and Council, we are targeting the Whitesville community, and we also have some additional funds that will be pointed in that community, such as $200,000 from ARPA for housing rehabilitation, $200,000 from ARPA for funding for the Whitesville Park, and then about $300,000 from T-SPLOST that will be spent in that neighborhood. So today what we're asking you for is authorization to submit this grant application to DCA, and with the intentions of taking, it could be as much as $1.25 million. But we like your authorization and we recommend that you approve the submittal of the application for community development block grant funds.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council?
Yeah, Mr. Penny, you just, I mean, you kind of casually said that we haven't had success with CDBG grants, but we've received CDBG grants before, yes, a grant. The Gordon Street project, the CDBG, is this a different kind of CDBG?
Yeah, we have had successful community development block grant funds, but not for housing. Not since I've been here.
Right.
3.5 years that I've been here.
Okay.
We've been positioning ourselves to get housing funding. And so, yeah, we've gotten plenty of money. We've gotten money for MLK Drive and things like that.
And are we continuing to focus on infrastructure CDBG? I mean, mainly because those are a little bit easier to win. And these are all competitive grants, so you got, you know, it's all about your points.
Yeah, those are easier to win, but we have funds to be able to do infrastructure. Some of this would be infrastructure, but more so looking at the housing in that neighborhood.
Well, okay, well, I guess that didn't really answer my question, but my question was, are we still going for
We will.
infrastructure grants?
We will, however, we don't want to be going at two different applications. So in this case, it's pointed more toward the housing.
Okay.
Any further discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We move down to agenda item 8, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2023-13, a resolution approving the application for funding from the congressionally directed spending program for the Creek on the Blue Mile. Mr. Penny, you could.
Mayor, members of the council, if you remember, I think it was a little bit over a year ago, we submitted funding request to send the ISOS office for the Creek on the Blue Mile. And again, we had some things that we needed to do, and so what we're doing, the application period to submit to the senator's office is again open, and we would like to resubmit that grant application for the Creek on the Blue Mile. I think the last time the grant application was for about $6 million. And so today, what we're asking you is for permission to be able to submit that application, and we do recommend it to you. Again, we're not in a position at this point that we're ready to start work. However, we're hopeful that if we can get some set aside for the project, any grant dollars that we would receive would be helpful to limit the amount of funding that we have to borrow in order to do the project when we're at a point that the council decides that you're ready to move forward with the project and we have design completed.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. We'll open it up for council discussion. Any council discussion?
Do we have updated cost estimates on the Blue Creek project? Because infrastructure and those types of projects, prices in the past 18 months have gone up 40 to 60%. So we were looking at a $26 million project before. It is likely that that project is now close to 40.
There's a very good chance, but at this point, we do not have the revised estimates. We will, before you're in a position that you have to vote, we will have that estimate, but we do expect in the next several months, when you get your 60% report from Freedis and Nichols, I would expect by then we'll have some revised numbers for that project. I would simply say at this point, any project that we take on, whether it's Creek on the Blue Mile, whether it's housing rehabilitation, no matter what we do at this point, we're in a position that costs are elevated because of supply chain issues and just the inflation issues that our country is dealing with. When we're ready to move forward, we would hope we would see some return, and I don't know if you can say normalcy, but we hope to see some return to a situation where contractors have to compete. Right now, contractors are getting to pick and choose the jobs that they want, and those things add to the cost. But to your point, we don't have the revised numbers, but in the next several months, I would expect we would get those revised numbers.
Any further discussion by council?
Mr. Mayor, I see that we have 3 of our most ardent supporters of the, and volunteers for the Creek Project, and I just wondered if they had anything they wanted to say, or I assume you're all thumbs up on this. Thumbs up?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right, seeing that there is none, we'll move down to agenda item 9, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2023-14, a resolution approving the application for the 2023 Keep Georgia Beautiful Foundation Grace Program Grant. Mr. Petty.
Mayor, members of the council, we are applying for up to about $5,000 for this GRACE grant, and again, it's intended to help reduce litter, blight, and illegal dumping on public properties and encourage code enforcement. We recommend the application to you and request authorization to submit the application.
Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. With that being said, we move down to agenda item 10, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2023-15, a resolution approving the application for funding from the Congressional Direct Spending Program supported by the Office of U.S. Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock for the State Road Village Builders Initiative. Mr. Perry.
Mayor, members of the council, last year during the first budget process, you approved the funding for the Village Builders Initiative. And last year, I think we did submit a request to our senator for a congressional set-aside. And what the window has now been opened, and it actually closes this week to be able to submit an application that would support, in this case, we would target the Village Builders Program. We had a plan that we submitted last year. That plan may be modified to some extent this year, but today all we're simply asking is authorization to be able to submit an application to both senators' offices. They're not submitted together, they're submitted individually. And one I think may be due today, the other is due by Friday, and we're simply recommending that we be allowed to submit this application.
All right, any discussion by council?
The only thing I would say is at some point we need to have a discussion whether or not that the city is appropriate to be delivering educational programming. I mean, we don't receive any public funding for that whatsoever.
This is not an educational program, it's a mentoring program, and municipal cities across the nation deliver mentoring services for kids.
All right, thank you for contradicting me, Mayor, but I'm allowed to make a point as a member of this council who has voting responsibilities. And I'm just telling you that the city's primary responsibility is not this program.
Says who?
Says our charter.
No, our charter is to meet the needs of the people.
Okay, well, I mean, if you can just blanketly say you can do anything you want as a city, well, I disagree with that.
The charter doesn't say we do keep Bullitt beautiful.
Huh?
The charter doesn't say we do keep Bullitt beautiful.
Okay, Mayor, I'm not here to argue with you.
No, we just need to make sure we're speaking factually and not.
Yes, I believe that the city does not just have the right to do anything and everything. We have our land.
The city does.
The BOE has education. The county has dirt roads. We have the city. We all have our lands. I mean, I understand this is a pet project for you, and I get it. It has been for a long time, since even before you were mayor. I get that, and I totally understand wanting to put a mark and make a difference. And I'm just suggesting that perhaps there are other agencies that would be better suited to this, and that is an opinion that I have, and I'm allowed to say that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We support that. With that being said, any further discussion by council?
This is, I'm sorry, so just to clarify, this is the congressionally directed spending where our representatives get to allocate money to things they think are important. We're just asking, send some this way to help us further develop, and if we get it, then we'll hear more about how it might be spent. That would come back to us. Thank you for the clarification.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item 11, consideration for a motion authorizing the mayor to execute a Georgia Department of Transportation temporary driveway construction easement at the Statesboro Bullock County Airport. Mr. Benson.
Mayor, members of the council, over on Highway 301, the DOT wants to install a turning lane out in front of the airport. And what this is simply authorizing the mayor to sign a document for a right of entry and to use our right of way. And we do recommend approval and authorization for the mayor to be able to sign this document.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Penn. All right, any discussion by council? Seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, we move down to agenda item 12, consideration of a motion to authorize the Statesboro Police Department to purchase upgraded firearms and related equipment for use by sworn officers in the amount of $40,205.20. Is Mr. Penn?
Mayor, members of the council, we are wanting to change out the service revolvers that are currently used by our police department. And this is, gets really a starting that process. And where we go from a Glock 17 to a Glock 45. I'm not a gun person, so. And we recommend the approval of the purchase of these service revolvers for our police officers. I'm sorry.
They're not revolvers.
Revolvers, you like this. Okay. I just don't know the gun.
That's fine, that's fine. As long as we got some gun, you know. That being said, any discussion by council?
What happens to the old guns?
I think we traded in. We traded in.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know that much.
Any further discussion by council?
Sell them on the street.
All right. If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Consideration of, we'll move down to 13, which is consideration of a motion to reject all bids for wastewater treatment plant, influent pump and upgrades. Mr. King.
Yeah, Mayor, members of the council, this is a project we've been working on, and we went out for bids, and the bids came in way over what we anticipated and what the estimate was. And so in this case, what we're recommending is you reject all bids, and we'll go back and do some re-engineering and see and go back out again.
Okay. All right. Any discussion by council? Seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll move down to agenda item 14, other business from city council. Any other business from city council?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As those of you who are friends with me on Facebook may already know, there's a really great fundraiser going on in Bullock County right now. The First Readers of Bullock County, FERST, it's a person's name, sends books to Bullock County preschoolers to improve literacy, to help them be better prepared for success in school. And Councilmember Chavis and I are participating in a fundraiser where we have been posting content across social media as a storybook character, asking people to vote for us or one of the other 3 people who are running, or 2 people and a goat. Yeah, and the goat's in second place now. Moonshine, there you go.
Never ever run against a goat.
Somebody loves goats. But I just wanted to call it to your attention and ask you to follow us on Facebook. A vote costs $3, but every vote buys a book for a child here in Bullock County. And at the conclusion of our meeting today, if you want to hang around and be the gallery, we're going to try to film a very short video supporting both of us and the whole fundraiser. So you can be the gallery and be the applause and the noise in the background if you can stay a few minutes after. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Anything else from council?
I am going to bring up one day changing the name of Tillman Road to Snooky's Boulevard, Snooky's Road, or Snooky's Drive, or Bruce Young Boulevard, Road or Drive. I just wanted to let everybody know, I was bringing that up. If anybody doesn't like it, I want to hear about it. If anybody does like it or has a suggestion.
I will say, I love, we've got Bruce Young Industrial
Yeah,
Park.
Snooki, that's why I was thinking Snooki's.
I love Snooki's Road there, or Snooki's Avenue or something, but
And I'll call
that's a great
them and
idea.
ask them if they're okay with it.
So we just talking about one section of it?
Yes, just the one from 301 to Fair Road. Yeah, just that little quick spot, so I think there'll only be...
Well, I mean, Tillman Road's not that long anyway. It becomes Zeta after that, yeah.
Well, that's where I live.
We're not gonna change yours.
Yeah, not on the,
Oh, okay. On the other end.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's not down there.
Okay.
I think the only two that have addresses would be the Verizon and maybe CVS.
Oh.
I don't think anybody,
You're gonna-
all the others are
It's
on.
gonna need to do the whole road though, from the power station. Otherwise you'll have three, it'll be very confusing otherwise.
We'll look at it.
Okay.
Make a recommendation for it.
Go on and let everybody know.
Okay.
As I recall, Mayor, we established a process, so there's plenty of public notice and folks
Yeah.
have opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll look at it.
Thank you.
Okay. And it does, when you look at that process, see how much can we go ahead and get done, and we'll follow up with John as far as discussion with the family, see if it's okay with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
They're primarily, it's primarily public hearings. So we can just, if you want to put it on there, we can put it on the next meeting.
Okay. Let me talk to him first.
But it's a process just almost like a ordinance.
Let's not schedule anything yet. Let me
Yeah, talk to
I got your back whenever you're ready.
But we can do.
How many street names can you put on one agenda?
Thank you.
I don't know what you got.
You want,
Yeah, someone come to me about a street name, which they already done their research, the family is fine with it.
okay.
So whenever John gets ready to put Snooki Boulevard on there,
Okay.
whatever it's gonna be called,
Yeah,
I wanna throw another name as well.
Well, let's-
I'll talk to them about it.
okay.
And let us do some research.
Okay. All right, good deal. All right, anything else from city council? All right, seeing that there's none, we'll move down to city manager comments.
Mayor, members of the council, I have a couple of things to mention to you. One of which is, we started advertising yesterday for boards and commissions, a couple of boards and commissions. One, we have terms on the Statesboro Youth Commission that have expired, and we need to either reappoint or add some new people to the Youth Commission. And then the second one is the Youth Commission.
Tree board.
And the tree board. And we've had some resignations and some terms to expire, and we need to, and we are advertising for those boards. And so since we're on Facebook Live, if anyone is interested, now's the time to make that application. The other thing I just mentioned is next week, the mayor and the council will be on the council retreat from March 17th through the 18th, and that will be at Jekyll Island. And so we look forward to a full day and almost 3/4 of active engagement and work with the council as we look at a number of things, do some training, and we always look forward to the council retreat.
Mr. Mayor, I just thought about, we just had applications for the youth council. Do we have any update on the status of that? We had a lot of applicants.
We had over 60 applications, and staff is pretty much let folks self-select, but there's going to be some training and some meetings with parents. It's a great start to have that many young people interested in the youth council, and as someone that used to be on the youth council many years ago, it's an exciting time to have our youth involved and let them plan some things and give input on what's important for them, because we always like to plan for our youth, but sometimes we just fail to ask their opinions, and this is a great opportunity for us to do that. We had over 60 applications.
Good deal. Good stuff.
That's it, Mayor.
All right, and so we're down to public comments. Any public comments? All right, seeing that there's none, we're going down to agenda item 7, consideration of a motion to enter into executive session. Is there a need for executive session today?
No, Mayor.
Look at God. All right, in honor of Councilwoman Venus Mack, who's not here today, we'll move down to agenda item 18. Consideration of a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.